afternoon, hello, and welcome to the OMNI Coalition, not the OMNI Coalition, This Date in History. Sorry, my brain is not working right now. Anyway, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website allthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today I'm joined by...
Golden Loon.
Yep, and in the live studio audience we have Protoblob. Welcome, welcome. So today...
Welcome.
Yep. Anyway, today is Freya's Day, also known as Friday, November 25th, 2022. So let's jump on up into the history, shall we? Starting in the year 1034, we have Malcolm II, King of Scots, or Mael Colim Mac Cinadia, born 980. What? Born 980, dies... Oh, okay. Birth 980, dies. Donachad, his son, the son of his second daughter, Bethok, and Ciernan of Dunkeld, inherited his throne. Well, that was a rough thing to read. Like
980's not your norm.
Yeah. Well, no, he was born in 980, so like
right.
Yeah, that's usually they don't tell you the birth year of the people. So like this, yeah. So Malcolm, the King of Scots, he died today.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about him, I think, maybe in the death section. I don't know. But yeah, then the son of his second daughter inherited the throne, so his grandchild.
Right.
So, yep. But then moving on up here in 1120, because Blob here did a little bit of research beforehand. 1120 here, the White Ship capsized near the Normandy coast while crossing the English Channel, transporting many nobles, including the heir to the English throne from France to England. About 300 die, with only one survivor.
Ooh.
Jeez.
So,
I wonder who the survivor was. Like,
who knows?
Yeah.
Chances are it wasn't the inheritance to the king of to the throne.
I hope.
Probably didn't make it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was a ship for the elites going across, huh?
Yep. Yeah, transporting many nobles. So yeah, it's an elite ship. Anyway, jumping on up into 1165, Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I of Barbarossa visited Utrecht. All right. Where is Utrecht? I've heard of that name. So let's see here. Utrecht.
It's in the Netherlands. It's very famous from the Treaty of Utrecht in the American Revolution or whatever it was.
It has something to do with the Revolution?
Oh, I think it was before that. Some European countries in America, they signed that treaty or something. You would have to look it up.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I've heard this name before, Utrecht. So, anyway, I see we've been joined by Adolf Tidler. Welcome, welcome. Where's your better half?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Well, at least you're here, so that's something.
I am so fucking bored. I resulted in life.
Dang.
I went out Black Friday shopping and bought more ammo for my 9mm.
Nice.
Because it was actually under $40 for once.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a spider or something. Dang. Yeah, well, awesome. Like, that's a great thing to buy on a Black Friday sale is some more ammo. We always need that. So.
Yeah. For the world I'm living in right now, yeah.
For the world I'm living in right now, too. Yeah, I understand. So.
Oh yeah, you're in California.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, look at my hair. I look like a mess. Like,
Hold on,
I'm
your
just
camera's loading for me. My internet,
look.
my Wi-Fi's been fucked.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on up here to 1177. Battle of Montesgard. Baldwin IV of Jerusalem defeated Saladin and a larger Ayyubid force. And that's this here, Montesgard. That Blob found the wiki to it, so I'm going to post this into the underbar, the description right now. So that way you can go check out more about this battle. That is interesting. He was the first Sultan of Egypt and Syria. So Egypt and Syria. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tiddler, if you want, you can read a couple articles. Would you?
Oh, I'm dyslexic, man. I can't read.
Okay. Moving on up to 1500, Governor de Bobadilla of Santo Dominico captured Christopher Columbus. Pardon me. Dang. So he was detained. I did not know that.
I had no clue.
So,
capture is a pretty strong word.
Yeah. Let's see here. Governor de Santo Dominico. So, huh. And that's in 1500. So that's after 1492. So that's after all the. I wonder if Well, this is a challenge I present to the viewers. If you can find me semantics about this particular event. Why was he captured? How long was he detained? All that stuff.
Sounds like he was over here, Santo Domingo.
Yeah.
He was in the neighborhood, and they said, "Who are you?" Pulled him over, and like you say, detained him's a nice word.
Yeah.
Captured's different.
Yeah. Well, Santo Domingo is currently the capital of the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
So, I didn't know that. So, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I kind of want to look it up right now, but we got to keep going here. We got a coup d'etat here in 1741. Elizabeth of Russia seized power in a coup with the aid of Imperial Russian guards in St. Petersburg, Russia. Ooh.
Very rare do you hear, especially back in these days, a woman leading a coup d'etat.
Yeah. And she apparently was successful because it says here she was an empress.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it says here she seized power.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's a very round face, too. So, yeah. Anyway, we got a historic publication here in 1792. Benjamin Banneker first published his Farmer's Almanac.
Didn't realize it went back that far.
Yeah. Now, what is a Farmer's Almanac?
Gives you information of weathers and everything like that. Seasonal, possible droughts. Whatever the predictions are.
Basically, a how-to farm, essentially.
No, not a how-to. Just telling you weather-wise. It's predominantly weather, I believe. I'm not.
Let's see here. What is the Farmer's Almanac? Farmer's Almanac is an annual U.S. periodical that has been continuous publication since 1818. Published by Geiger of Lucin, Maine, the Farmer's Almanac provides long-range weather predictions for both the U.S. and Canada. Oh, yeah, you are correct. I'm going to add this in the underbar as well. So let's see here. There we go. And added. Anyway, moving on up here to 1867, U.S. Congress Commission looked into impeachment of President Andrew Johnson. I wonder what he was doing. Andrew Johnson. Why impeach Andrew Johnson? Okay. The primary charge against Johnson was that he had violated the Tenure of Office Act, specifically that he had acted to remove from office Edwin Stanton and to replace him with Brevet Major General Lorenzo Thomas as the Secretary of War ad interim. All right, I have no idea what that means, but I guess he was wrongfully replacing somebody or something? I don't know.
Well, obviously they didn't go ahead with the impeachment, so I don't know how wrongfully it was, but they were just mad that he replaced him, I guess. And a lot of times he had something against the president, so a president replaces him, and then there's an uprising in Congress.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's the case here, but that's a potential.
Result, approved resolution of impeachment. They did impeach him. It was, so in the House, it was 126 to 47 in favor of impeaching, and in the Senate, 35 found guilty and 19 were not guilty.
Yeah.
Result, acquitted.
Okay, so he was actually impeached. That isn't what the article says.
Actually, it says he was acquitted, because 36 guilty votes are necessary for a conviction, and he only got 35. So.
Right. You're impeached in the House, as President Trump was twice.
Yeah.
Then you go over to the Senate, and they either convict you, then you're out of office, or you're found innocent.
Oh, okay, so they did impeach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like they impeached Trump.
Okay.
Found innocent.
Okay, so impeaching is just like, it's not like get rid of. It's on the way to get rid of, or it's starting the process of getting rid of a president. Or
yeah,
okay.
Impeachment is done in the House, and when you're found guilty in the House, then you're impeached.
Okay.
But then you have to be convicted by the Senate.
Okay.
And that's when it really kicks in, where you you're kicked out of office. You can never run for office again.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Dang.
And Nixon resigned before they impeached him, actually.
Yeah. They did impeach
Clinton.
Yeah.
President Clinton. Yes,
Yeah.
they impeached him. Found innocent in the Senate.
Ah. All right.
So he ran again and won again.
Well, everybody knows he likes to play the saxophone. Well, I don't know. Anyway, first ad for a radio set. 1905, Telemaco made the first ever advertisement for a radio set by advertising an $8.50 set in the Scientific American, which claimed to receive signals for up to 1 mile. That's interesting. Wireless telegraph. Look at that.
Huh.
So the first ad for a radio thing.
Radio set. That's
Yeah.
not a way to. Well, I guess not.
Radio set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like
An old term.
like when was like radio technology invented? Like when was radio invented? 1895. So this is like, I thought it would be recent because so 10 years later after the actual invention of the radio, then they had public radio sets. That's a really quick turnover. 10 years. From initial invention to to being used by people.
I don't think so. Well, look at the limitations.
Yeah.
1
Up
mile.
to 1 mile.
But the technology was there when it was invented. It took 10 years to get something going. Oh, that's probably not the first thing.
Yeah. Well, like something like the radio, you're gonna because like GPS, up until speaking of Bill Clinton, he authorized GPS to be more usable to the public sector because it was a military invention.
Yeah.
And whereas the military at the time got a GPS reading of up to 10 feet of accuracy, what civilians had access to was up to 100 feet of accuracy.
Okay.
So it wasn't accurate at all.
Yeah.
But then he basically allowed the private market to gain access to this technology and everything. Still not as good as the military, but we're a lot closer ratio-wise and such than we were back then. So, I mean, now we have GPS on our phones, the Waze and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then in 1907, Julius Massenet's opera Thais had its first U.S. performance in New York. That's cool. So, we got some sports history here. 1911, Australasian Championships men's tennis in Melbourne. 1907, Wimbledon champion Norman Brooks of Australia defeated countryman Horace Rice 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. Oh, well, look at that. 3 6s, 1, 2, 3. So, you can't make this stuff up, mate. So.
He kind of, he won. He beat him in 3 sets and pretty solidly in each set.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one-sided.
Yeah. Then we got a historic event here in 1922, 100 years ago on this day. Crown Prince Hirohito of Japan became regent of Japan in his ailing father's stead. And
Hirohito.
Yeah, Hirohito. I didn't have a link to that. So, we were talking about this earlier. And I really do got to bring out, I really do got to start working on the shorts, although my time is pretty insane for the next foreseeable week. Got to put up Christmas lights on top of doing 2 shows a day and managing an entire community.
Oh, wah, wah, wah.
I'm making time for you.
Don't.
Oh, you don't want help?
Oh, wait a minute. No, you're doing it yourself.
1930, Sporting News picks Bill Terry as National League MVP and Joe Cronin as American League MVP. All right. And 1938, we got an execution here. Lavrentiy Beria succeeded Nikolai Yezhkov as the head of the Soviet secret police, NKVD, after Yezhkov was executed on Joseph Stalin's orders. Yeah, that sounds like it's around the time of the Purge.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds like Joseph Stalin.
Yep. And 1940, football team University of Michigan retired Tom Harmon's number 98 jersey.
Oh, Tom Harmon. Yeah.
Bro, he looks a lot like Rhombus, sir. Like, I need to save that picture. Like you haven't seen Doom on camera, but he looks a lot like Doom. Huh. Anyway, moving on up to sports history, some more. In 1949, Ted Williams won the American League Most Valuable Player.
Yep.
All right. And he has that baseball stare, you know, like he's focusing in on that ball. He's gonna swack that out of the park. We got another historic event here. Ooh, what's with this guy? 1955, Clement Attlee resigned as leader of the UK Labour Party.
Now wait a minute. You're talking baseball, and you use the word swack? Swack it out of the park?
Wow, swing and whack, you know, like combining, you know.
Perfect. Move on. Go
I
ahead.
invented a new word.
You did. A new baseball analogy. There you go.
From someone who doesn't know shit from Shinola about baseball.
Hit for the line.
Yeah. You mean the cycle?
Yeah. Very good.
I was just like, wait, that sounds familiar.
Sorry, folks. That's all inside stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you've been a viewer for a while, that you'd understand. Or you can always go back and look at the other videos. That'd be appreciated too. But no, doesn't this guy look nefarious? Like,
could be.
He's like, he has. I don't know. I'm not getting any good vibes from this guy.
Read him again there. I kind of missed it. I was laughing to myself about swack.
1955, Clement Attlee resigned as leader of the UK Labour Party.
Okay.
But I'm just looking at this guy's picture. Here's a bigger form for you. Like,
pretty phony smile, if you ask me.
Yeah, the whole thing. He's shifty.
Yeah,
very shifty.
Could be.
So, anyway, moving on up to 1955, Walter Piston's Sixth Symphony, composed to mark the 75th anniversary of the Boston Symphony, premiered, led by Charles Munch. All right. 1957, U.S. President Dwight Eisenhower suffered a mild stroke, impairing his speech. That sucks.
Yeah. He had heart problems for sure.
Yeah.
What I remember of him is always kind of ailing as a president.
Well, I know he was leading stuff in the Second World War. I think he was fighting in the First. A lot of the leaders of the Second were around in the First.
Especially the generals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was president.
How many years later? It was only 20-some years later from beginning to end of the others.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So from 1918.
So 1920 to 1940, there's 20 years.
20 years. Yeah, so, yeah. We got some sports history here. 1961, NBA's Bob Cousy became the second player to score 15,000 points. That's a lot.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, Bob Cousy is the guy that changed basketball from dribbling down, stop, set, pass, in the old days, to moving the ball up court as fast as you could.
Yeah.
And beating the other team on defense. So making it a way faster game.
Yeah.
He started that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1963, JFK was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. We've been there.
Yeah. Just kind of didn't realize it was on this day.
Yeah, well, he got assassinated 2 days ago on the 23rd. So.
Remember it well.
Yep. We got some music history here. 1969, John Lennon returned OBE to protest against UK's support for Vietnam War. What is OBE? John Lennon returned OBE. Let me just look this up here real quick.
Order of the British Empire.
Oh.
It's a title that is given by the Queen or King.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Nice.
All right. Well then, yeah, thank you. Let's see here. We got another historical event here in 1971. British Labour Party leader Harold Wilson proposed Britain should work towards a withdrawal from Northern Ireland, and after 15 years, the Republic of Ireland could rejoin the British Commonwealth. Yeah, like like Ireland should be its own country. Honestly, that they were the first. Actually, no, Scotland. Yeah, well. It's Scotland and Ireland. Ireland's the island one, right? And only partially owned by Britain. And Scotland is landlocked with the UK, or with Britain. They're like in the northern area of Scotland. Mm-hmm. So,
my heritage is from Scotland.
Oh,
yeah. My grandfather was from Scotland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know where my heritage is from. I know I'm part German, at least way down the line. So. Anyway, 1976, O.J. Simpson gained 273 yards for Buffalo versus Detroit. Okay, why are we talking about like one moment in a game? That's weird.
That is.
Because OJ?
Well, probably because it's OJ.
Yeah.
Name recognition. Let's pop that in there. But 273 yards in a game is a lot of yards.
It is. But not as much as 274.
Not as much, but more than 272.
I was going to say that too. The humor doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's sad. That's sad.
1976, the band's farewell concert at San Francisco Winterland Ballroom, San Francisco, California. Guest performers included Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, Van Morrison, Ringo Starr, and the Staple Singers. Concert film The Last Waltz, directed by Martin Scorsese. Huh. The band's farewell concert. Like, what is that? Well, I guess that's their... Whatever band this was.
The band.
Yeah.
That is the name of the group, the band.
The band, okay.
Just like the Beatles, they were the band.
Huh, you'd think they'd want to go for like a less generic name, but...
Well, look they already had individual names that were major rock stars.
Yeah.
Neil Young. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, Ringo Starr, yeah.
I'm not sure they were in the band. I don't think they may have all played at their farewell.
It says here guest performers included these guys.
Okay, they're guest performers.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, like, who was the band?
I know their music, but I can't tell you who's in it.
Okay, and I don't even know how to start searching for that. I don't want to start going down that rabbit hole. So I'm gonna that's another challenge for the viewers. Like, who was in the band? Like, whatever this band was. So, anyway, moving on up to 1977, Thomas Hearns knocks out Jerome Hill in 2 rounds in his first pro fight. Wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Then, 1978, New Zealand general election was won by ruling Prime Minister Robert Muldoon and the National Party. Muldoon. I've heard that name before.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Anyway, I see we have been joined by the Dude. Welcome. Anyway, moving on up to 1979 here. Pat Summerall and John Madden broadcasted a game together for the first time, a pairing that lasted 22 years and became one of the most well-known partnerships in TV sportscasting history.
Yeah, John Madden was great.
John Madden.
Great.
Yeah.
Great football coach, too, but great announcer.
You want to know the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this article? Like, oh God, 2 pasty old white guys. Like, what's going on? Look at these couple of geezers.
John Madden was afraid to fly everywhere, and he had to be somewhere different every week, right, for broadcasting a football game.
I did not know that.
So he had to take a train. So he left like 4 or 5 days earlier than he had to because he had to take a train.
Wow. Hey, at least he stuck to the ground, I mean, he was a football player, not a football, so he doesn't like going in the air. He needs to stay on the turf. I guess.
Just move on, please.
Yeah. I see we've been joined by DJ Floats. Thank you. Anyway, moving on up into 1980, Imran Khan scored his first Test cricket ton, 123 versus W.I. Lahore.
Cricket.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. Moving on up from one of the most confusing sports. What the hell is a Test cricket ton? Like, what
That's the point. They're just... I see English words, but I don't know what they mean.
It's like, oh, hey, let's go play wicket and cricket and like, and eat a biscuit. I don't know. Like, 1980 as well, Sugar Ray Leonard regains WBC welterweight boxing crown when Roberto Duran quit in the 8th round an infamous no mas fight at the Superdome, New Orleans.
Yeah, remember that.
No mas, no more.
He was done, yeah.
Yep. And 1981, Pope John Paul II named Joseph Cardinal Ratzinger prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. All right, whatever that means. That's interesting. John Paul II. Yeah, John Paul II is one of the greatest popes of all time. Like, I don't know much of the papal history.
Yeah.
But he did a lot of great things, and he was pope for quite some time. So.
I don't know enough about Catholicism to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got some more boxing here in 1983. Larry Holmes technically knocks out Marvis Frazier in 1 for heavyweight boxing title. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
First round, down.
Yeah.
Jeez. 1986, A's Joe Kinsenko won a AL American League Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
All right. 1986 as well, Iran-Contra affair erupted with President Reagan revealing secret arms deal. Ay.
Yep. Iran-Contra, yep.
1986, as well, Oliver North's secretary, Fawn Hall, smuggled documents out of his office. Here we go. Oh, yeah, so this is part of the Iran-Contra affair.
Yeah.
So. Then, 1 year later, 1987, Pakistan cricket leg spin bowler. What the fuck does that even mean? Abdul Qadir took 9 to 56 against England in first test at Lahore. Best figures by a Pakistani and by any bowler against England.
You know, probably if I was born in Pakistan, I'd be a cricket fan.
Probably.
But I wasn't, so I'm not.
Let us count our lucky stars.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah, here we go. 1988, Chuck Berry paid a $250 fine to resolve New York City assault charges. Who did he assault?
I don't know. Hit somebody, no doubt.
Yeah. Usually musicians just hit people with their music.
Great rock and roll. Oh, boo. Great rock and roller, though.
Yeah. Then, 1989, David Boone scored 200 versus New Zealand at cricket Waka.
Cricket.
More cricket. What's with cricket going on? This guy kind of looks like Mike Lindell a little bit. He has a little bit of Mike.
I was going to say, it is like Lewin's, can he pronounce his name?
Mike Lindell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I was going to say Lech Wałęsa or something like that.
Yeah,
it is him.
Yeah, 1990, Lech Wałęsa won Poland's first popular election.
Yeah, that was huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Major. I mean, you know, they were under the Eastern Bloc.
Yeah. No, like this is the first time they've been free since before World War II.
And it started with the workers' uprising.
Yeah.
And he kind of headed that and then became president.
Can you think if you think about it, like the invasion of Poland in 1930.
Wałęsa, that's how you
Wałęsa. Yeah, the invasion of Poland was September 1st, 1939, I believe. And so from there until, November 25th, 1990, you're talking about like over half a century. That's 51 years.
Yeah.
So, that's insane. But speaking of people who look like people, like I was showing Alice, several. I told you about this earlier. Several pictures of from my 15th birthday or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And you're in a few of them, and she didn't recognize you. She said that you look like an older brother of Bill Clinton. And I'm just like, no, like, he looks more like Chevy Chase. And she's like, yo, you're right.
You know who I used to get stopped all the time for? There was a show called Chips, two motorcycle guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's that? I can't remember the guy's name. No, I'm not. Come on, give me your autograph. I should have just given him my autograph. They would have looked at it and gone, what?
Who the hell is this guy? Oh, I'm a stunt double. Anyway, 1997, Seven's seventh studio... wow, that's a lot of sevens right there. Seven's studio album by Garth Brooks was released, later to receive the Grammy Award Best Country Collaboration with Vocals in 1998, and the Billboard Album of the Year in 1998. All right. I just got stabbed in the foot by something. What is this? It is...
That's not a knife.
It is a thing. Anyway, moving on up here, into 2012 Soul Train Music Awards. 26 Soul Train Music Awards, Miguel Beyonce won. Miguel and Beyonce, two different people.
Okay, thank you. Who's Miguel?
Miguel Beyonce. 2012 as well, German Red Bull driver Sebastian Vettel finished fourth in season-ending Brazilian Grand Prix at Autodromo José Carlos Pace to claim his third consecutive F1 World Drivers' Championship by 3 points from Fernando Alonso.
There's that free ad again, Red Bull.
Yeah, well, he's a Red Bull driver. Yeah. I just call this guy good old helmet hair. It looks like he just got out of the car, took the helmet off in the picture. No time to brush, just like me. So, anyway, in 2014, Lionel Messi became the UEFA Champions League all-time top scorer. Yeah, that's probably the face when you heard about it. Whoa. Then we got a papal visit in 2015. Pope Francis began his trip to Africa, visiting Kenya, Uganda, and the Central African Republic. Cool.
He did travel, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
all around the world.
A lot of popes, Pope John Paul II, was the first pope in a lot of places. I think he was the first pope in the Western Hemisphere, actually.
Really?
Yeah, to visit the Western Hemisphere. Hold on a second. First pope to visit USA. Let's just see USA. Paul the... Okay, so I was wrong. Paul the Sixth, 1965. All right, so I was wrong.
That's
John
not that it
Paul
was him, but earlier.
Paul
Yeah.
second, first.
Still 65. That's really surprising. It took
visits.
him that long to get here.
Let's see here. Pope John Paul II, first pope to visit Poland, Mexico, Nigeria, the Philippines, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know the exact like if which one of those are true or if all of them are or if none of them are. I don't know, but like, yeah. Now there's another question like how many firsts was John Paul II? So anyway, we got some more sports history here in 2018. British Mercedes driver. You want to talk about free advertising? Here's another one.
There you go.
Lewis Hamilton won a season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to claim his 5th Formula One World Drivers' Championship by 88 points from Sebastian Vettel. Mercedes' 5th straight constructors title. And if you can hear the trash truck in the background, yeah, it'll be gone eventually. Why is it backing up? So
there seems to be a dump truck up the street doing something, so that may be it.
Okay.
Maybe backing up to this.
Is it? Is that part of the whole driveway thing from it?
No.
Anyway, moving on up into 2020, just 2 years ago, the New York Times named its 25 greatest actors of the 21st century so far, with Denzel Washington at number 1. He's a good actor.
Oh, he is a good actor.
Yeah.
No question. How do you determine something like that? I mean,
I don't know.
each role's so different, and but I guess just popularity or something.
I guess everybody just needs to make a list.
Yeah.
2020 as well, though, U.S. President Donald Trump pardoned former security advisor Michael Flynn, guilty of lying to the FBI. Dang. National Security Advisor, too. Wow. So, and 2021, Germany's COVID-19 death toll passed 100,000. Robert Koch Institute amid its highest surge in infections yet. That's just propaganda. So, 2021 as well. Peter Jackson's documentary series The Beatles Get Back premiered on Disney Plus. Why does Disney have the Beatles? Like, that makes no sense. Then again, Disney has everything, so
They may have bought.
probably.
Bought all
Did
the
you
music.
hear that Apple is talking about buying Disney?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the computer company.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
Apple.
But
Yeah, I heard that.
yeah, but this is wild because as we all know, Steve Jobs, and Steve Wozniak, and there was a third guy I forgot, and I think he was also a Steve. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just know the two.
Yeah, no, there's a third guy who I think it was either that or Microsoft. I don't remember, but I think there was 3 with Apple. But yeah, they founded Apple and all that stuff, and then the board of directors or whatever, like they voted Steve Jobs out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. Too.
So then he created Pixar.
Yeah.
And then that has since been acquired by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Jobs, obviously went back to Apple as well.
Yeah.
But this would be weird, so a company that got rid of someone that started something that has been acquired by something else, Disney, is now being maybe reacquired by Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying.
It's weird how things
It would
play
be.
out. Yeah. Disney, I didn't even know Disney was viable.
Well, anything public's viable.
Yeah, but Disney's
They usually have poison pills and everything. Disney's on the not on the ropes, but their stock's been hammered. There's a lot of the stuff they've come out that moms and dads don't care for.
Yeah.
And they're stopped buying.
Yeah.
Now,
Good.
they're not hurting by any stretch.
No.
But there's definitely breakups in there. I think there's talk of where they already have changed the CEO and different things like that. So you can see some problems at Disney, and maybe this is a takeover opportunity for them.
Yeah, well, let's see how this plays out. Anyway, before we move on into bursts and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed anyone's attention more than most?
No. Oh.
Delayed arresting with JFK, that's interesting.
Yeah, that hit me right there. Just it was on this day.
Yeah.
Just all that just came right back in on me immediately.
Jeez. I'm sorry.
No, it's not that sad of a deal. But it's just that it just kind of hit me like real again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, history does that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the point of the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, any viewers, anything that you found interesting more than most, anything that you wish we'd elaborated more on, anything that you would have liked to say a thing or two about if you have your own knowledge or comments, start a dialogue in the comments section. Anyway, let's move on into bursts. Are you staying with us?
I am going to take off.
All right, thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thank you. This is the Golden Moon Out.
All right. Starting us off in the year 1454, we have Caterina Cornaro, Queen of Cyprus, born in Venice. And actually, I think we skipped over something. So the first, just remembered, the first appearance of Woody Woodpecker was on this date in 1940. Yeah, 1940. So I'm going to add this into the underbar. Anyway, getting back into births here. Moving on up here to 1577, we have Piet Hein, was a Dutch privateer who captured a Spanish silver fleet and admiral who became a folk hero, born in Delfshaven, county of Holland, dying in 1629. And we have Andrew Carnegie, 1835, Scottish-American industrialist, steel tycoon, philanthropist, and one of the richest U.S. citizens ever born in Durham, Scotland. Dang. So a Scot came over here and became exorbitantly wealthy. Anybody can do it, you know. You just got to put your nose to the grindstone. Carl Benz. Wow, another big name here. 1844, a German inventor, an engine designer, and automobile manufacturer, Mercedes-Benz, born in Karlsruhe, Baden-Württemberg, and dying in 1929. John the 23rd in 1881 was an Italian priest and the 261st Pope, having served from 1958 through 63, born in Bergamo, Lombardy, Italy. We have Eddie Shore, 1902, a Canadian ice hockey player and NHL Hall of Famer for the Boston Bruins, born in Fort Queipel, Northwest Territories, dying in 1985. Joe DiMaggio, born on this date in 1914. There's a lot of names I recognize today. Wow. He was a U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame center fielder, 13-time MLB All-Star, 9-time World Series, 3-time AL MVP, Major League Baseball record 56-game hitting streak for the New York Yankees. Born in Martinez, California. Oh, hey. I did not know he was born out here. That's interesting. We have Augusto Pinochet, 1915, was a Chilean general and dictator of Chile from 1973 through 1990. Born in Valparaiso, Chile, dying in 2006. Who else was born on this date? Joe Gibbs, 1940, a U.S. Pro Football Hall of Fame coach, Super Bowl of 1982, 87, and 91 Washington Redskins, NFL Coach of the Year in 1982 and 83. He was also an auto race team owner, got 5-time NASCAR Cup Series. He was born in Mocksville, North Carolina. Happy birthday. We also have John F. Kennedy Jr., 1960, a U.S. magazine publisher, George, lawyer, and son of JFK, born in New York City, New York, dying in 1999. Those Kennedys, they are cursed. And we have Christina Applegate, 1971, a U.S. actress, married with children and dead to me, born in Hollywood, California. Well, that's fitting. An actress born in Hollywood. Who else do we have? Barbara Pierce Bush, 1981, a U.S. activist, Global Health Corps, and twin daughter of U.S. President George W. Bush, born in Dallas, Texas. Why does she look so distraught? Huh. That's a weird photograph. We have Katie Cassidy, 1986, a U.S. actress and scream queen, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Arrow, born in Los Angeles, California. Happy birthday to you. Moving on to the death, starting us off in 311, we have Peter of Alexandria, was a Christian martyr. Alright. And then we have Inez Milholland. That is a weird... No, actually, no, that's the female thing. Died on the state in 1916. Was a U.S. suffragist, National Woman's Party, labor, lawyer, and socialist. Died at the age of 30 after suffering from pernicious anemia. What the hell is that? Let's see here. Hold on. Pernicious anemia is a decrease in red blood cells that occurs when the intestines cannot properly absorb vitamin B12. Oh, that's not good. Anyway, we have Kennesaw Mountain Landis. This guy again with a mountain in his middle name. Died on the state in 1944. He was a U.S. federal judge from 1905 through 22, Baseball Hall of Fame executive, and first Major League Baseball commissioner from 1920 through 44. Died at the age of 78. So it sounds like he died in office. So, yeah, heart failure. And we got Bill Robinson here, 1949, a U.S. actor and tap dancer, Stormy Weather, the Little Colonel, died at the age of 71. Upton Sinclair, I've heard that name, 1968. It was a U.S. author, The Jungle, died at the age of 90. That's right. That's right. This guy, The Jungle, I believe that's the book that essentially created the FDA because the way food was being made. Oh, hey, I see that we just got joined by Brendoom at some point. I was not paying attention. You missed it. Tittles was in here earlier. I don't know where she went. But yeah, no, this guy's book, The Jungle, essentially was what led to the creation of the FDA, if my memory is correct about that book. Anyway, we have U Thant, 1974, a Burmese politician and third Secretary General of the United Nations from 1961 through 72, died in New York of lung cancer at the age of 65. Harold Washington, 1987, the first black U.S. citizen mayor of Chicago, Democrat Party from 1983 through 87, died at the age of 65. And it looks like he died in office. Or something, I don't know. Anyway, moving on up to, oh wow, okay. It's the death date of Fidel Castro, back in 2016. Has it really only been, it's already been 8 years. That is a long time, wow. Cuban revolutionary, prime minister, 1959 through 76, and president from 1976 through 2008, died at the age of 90. Wow. Yeah, no, like the amount of times our government tried to kill him is unfathomable, and he just wouldn't die. We got Diego Maradona in 2020, a Argentine soccer forward, 91 caps, World Cup 1986, captain, FIFA player of the 20th century, Argentinos Juniors Napoli, died from a heart attack at 60. Oh, that sucks. You'd think someone who's an athlete would be a little bit more healthy than to die from a heart attack, but Anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check out the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but unlimited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Massive Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, and 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Any other time zones that you may be in, you can go to Google and figure it out yourself. Anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Xander. We had the Golden Loon earlier. We had Tittles. We had Protoblob. We have DJ Floats. We have Brendoom Frazier. And I'm pretty sure there was one or two other people that were in and out too quick for me to really remember who they were. But anyway, until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in news, we have a news show coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, so in a few hours from now. Anyway, whatever the case, until you see us next time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then,